Well, it's time to put together another raised garden bed here in the meadow. But today, I am not going to need this, I am not going to need these, and I won't even need one of these. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome back to the meadow. Today, we're going to take a look at a raised garden bed that would fit in almost any circumstance, and you need no tools to put it together. So, let's get to work. We are trying out the root pouch, and I bought this from Epic Gardening, and this happens to be a 100-gallon bag with no handles. The bags are made from recycled water bottles along with a mixture of jute and bamboo. I've used a similar style bag before, and the one thing you want to do is make sure you keep the weed eater away from the bag because it will tear them. I've enlisted some help today. My friend Dylan is here working with me around the garden, so he's going to help me out getting this set up. And with my lucky gift from the neighbor that was moving, we're able to use some of this great dry wood to put in the bottom of the bed, probably about 8 inches worth or so, because I want to fill the bed and have some volume in there where I don't have to use up valuable soil that is just going to be in the bottom and not be a place for the sweet potatoes to grow. Typically, the sweet potatoes are going to grow within a few inches of where the bottom root is, and so having more than 12 inches will be sufficient in order to grow the sweet potatoes, or as we experiment here in this meadow, we'll find out if that was a terrible idea. This is my second setup. The first root pouch I did with yams, and the only problem I see is that it is fading in color sooner than I expected it would. It's only been out here for about a month. One of the lessons I learned with filling the other garden beds is I want to make sure I get dirt down in between all the wood in there, because it's going to settle pretty quickly if I don't. So we're going to go ahead and sort of dig around in here and make sure that's leveled down between all the wood that's in the bed. And for good measure, we're going to water that in a little bit too. But I don't want to put in too much water because I don't want it to just flood out the bag. I just want to help it settle in a little bit, because the soil has a nice moisture level to it anyway. This will also help these logs start to get a little bit of water to hold in to support the bed. I'm looking around the bottom. It really is soaking up the water too, because I don't yet see any water running out of the bed. So that is fantastic. All right, we're going to keep adding some soil. And the soil I'm using in here is some that has been used in other pots before, garden soil that I've purchased locally, and I'll be doing a little bit of amendment in the soil as well. I think we're going to need about 4 more bucket loads here to finish the top off. And don't worry, I'm being extra careful. I'm not doing any of this heavy lifting with my shoulder arm. I'm making sure I use my left hand, and Dylan's doing the heavy work today, so I'm grateful to have his help here. In my other raised garden bed videos, people wanted to know how much soil it took, so I thought I'd share here. For this 100-gallon grow bag, it would be about 13 cubic feet if I filled it all the way with soil. But remember, I used wood and I am leaving some space at the top for mulch. So I used about 60 gallons of soil, or 8 cubic feet, to fill this bed up. Now back to planting. And I actually have sweet potato and some longevity spinach. So I think what I'm going to do is plant the sweet potato first and then interplant the longevity spinach, which will come up tall, and use vertical space while the sweet potatoes are growing beneath the soil. That way I can get more use out of this one bed. I ordered my sweet potatoes and my longevity spinach from Cody Cove Farms, and I'll be sure to leave a link below. At the time I placed my order, they were only shipping to Florida, so that was a big win for me. But they are starting all kinds of really unique plants, things that you can grow that will work in a Florida climate, and there seems to me they're doing a great job over there, and I look forward maybe one day to get down there and bring the camera with me and interview the folks there at Cody Cove. The roots have grown in nicely, but some of them are breaking off because I left it in the paper towel. Maybe that wasn't my best idea. Maybe I shouldn't have used a paper towel because they have been in the water for a few weeks sprouting. So maybe I won't do that next time or get them out sooner. When I planted the yams the first time, I had to go back and replant them because I had not put them very deep under the soil. So today I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm also not planting them right next to the edge because I want there to be room for any sweet potatoes to come off on any side. And I'm planting them about 6 inches under the soil. I just realized I forgot my amendments. I guess I'll be coming along and topping it off with some amendments before I put the mulch on. Now, from what I understand, longevity spinach is supposed to be a perennial crop. So I don't know how this is going to work out. Maybe when I dig the sweet potatoes up, I'm going to affect it, and it may not be such a good thing. But again, more experiments, more experiments, more experiments. All of the roots are breaking off. Next time I put these in the jar, I will not have a paper towel in there. I'll do that differently. Now, we learn, we learn, we learn. Now, I don't know how deeply I'm supposed to plant those longevity spinach, but since it's got a nice stem on it, I'm just going ahead and planting it deeply like I would a piece of basil, so that there's plenty of room under the ground. And I suspect maybe I might get a little more root action on the edges there. And this one that doesn't have a root, I'm planting it anyway. We'll see what happens. All right, now let's give that a good watering in. And I'm going to put some shade over this because this is going to get hot and heavy sun today. Oh, wait. I could let my hose holder do this for me. Hold on. Some of you may have seen my short. I won this little gadget here. I haven't tried it with the skinnier hose. Now I can let the hose holder do the work for me. All right, now let's get a little bit of shade over this. Last time I used some bamboo. I had these in the garage that I bought for staking the tomatoes, so I'm going to try them today. That way my banana leaves can stay off of the plants. This sort of methodology is something I am testing out. I really would be better off putting these kind of plants in later at night, but my schedule just doesn't allow it. So what I've done here is created a little bit of a structure to hold the banana leaves up and create some shade for their first day being transplanted until I can get back with my mulch. And if you'll remember, a lot of the spinach did not have very good root systems on there, so I think direct sun at this point for them would just be a death sentence. Sometimes you just got to set the camera up and get to work. It took a couple of days to get the mulch and get back to do the amending. Here I am adding in cow manure, just a light dusting all around the different plants. I then want to add in the worm castings I have left, and I remembered that I had bat guano on the porch, so I am sprinkling in some bat guano, and I am finishing in with some worm castings. Now I'll take my 3-prong cultivator and just gently mix in the nutrients in with the top level of the soil. I didn't overdo it on the nutrients, but I did want to make sure the plants had what they need to get growing. I've got all of the fertilizer off of the leaves because I don't want to burn the leaves. Here is what I am using for mulch. People have asked me, will using pine shavings suck the nutrients out of the soil? The bed that's back there is part pine, part aspen. It doesn't seem to be affecting it. Another sweet potato bed, it does not seem to be affecting it. But what I have swapped up now is because I was buying pet litter bedding from Amazon that you would use for guinea pigs or rabbits. And it turns out that premium pine shaving bedding from Tractor Supply is less than half the cost. So I paid under $7 for 8 cubic feet here. And I believe that I paid $40 for about 12 cubic feet before, somewhere in that range. So definitely a much better deal.
If you're wondering why I don't just dump that bag into the bed, I'm recovering from shoulder surgery and I'm not yet able to lift a bag out and over a bed in that way.
Let's water this back in one more time just to get the wood chips moist so that they don't pull the water out of the bed as they settle down. A little bit of dampness should help keep them from blowing away if we get a little breeze while they get settled here. And that, my friends, is not assembling a raised garden bed. It's kind of nice to not need any real tools other than my trusty wagon to move around the mulch. If you like this content, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you have questions about the root pouch or anything I didn't cover, put them in the comments below. And the root pouch does come in a variety of sizes, I think from 5 gallon up. I chose the 100 gallon because I wanted to grow a lot of sweet potatoes. And we're going to see just how many sweet potatoes we can grow inside this 100 gallon grow bag. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water and wear your sunscreen, a good quality sunscreen. Have a fantastic day.